Hello, this is Jessica with Books for a Purpose, and today we are going to talk about books that help kids to overcome fears. So my daughter just turned 2 in June, and she all of a sudden out of the blue has become petrified of bugs. It doesn't matter if it's a ladybug or a butterfly or a bee, she screams hysterically, and I don't know where it came from. So one of the things that we have started to do is read Scaredy Squirrel with her. So there's multiple books in this series. There's just Scaredy Squirrel. There's Scaredy Squirrel at Night. And then there's Scaredy Squirrel Makes a Friend. And these books are so fun, and they're so funny, and they're so fun to read because they're not just like your average story in the way that they're told. Scaredy Squirrel never leaves his nut tree. The unknown. There's always fun things to point at and say differently. He'd rather stay in his safe and familiar tree than risk venturing out into the unknown. The unknown can be a scary place for a squirrel. So it goes through and like all the things he's scared of. These are fun because I can have my daughter read them to me. What is this? Oh, it's a spider. What is this? Poison ivy. A Martian. What are these? Bzz, bees. So you can get really interactive with it. And he's got sanitizer, he's got a fire extinguisher, he's got all kinds of really silly things that a squirrel would never have. A hard hat, a net, Band-Aids, sardines, calamine lotion, antibacterial soap. So he's really silly, and it takes that fear to an extreme. And I think it helps for them to see how irrational he is. They don't get that it's irrational, but how irrational he's being and how silly he's being over not ever wanting to leave his tree. He doesn't want to catch a disease or get bitten. So he comes around in the end and realizes that he was being really silly and comes down from his tree and loves life. But all of these stories approach fear in a funny way. So after reading these, I would ask my daughter, what are you scared of? And of course, she says the itsy bitsy spider is her answer. And so we come up with ways that we can conquer that fear, or things that we can do when that fear arises next time. So she kind of is forming an action plan, so to speak, before the fear happens, and that has helped a ton. Another story that we love for this is The Kissing Hand by Audrey Penn. And there are 3 books in this, and we also love A Pocket Full of Kisses, but for a totally different reason. The Kissing Hand is about a little raccoon named Chester who is scared to go to school. He doesn't want to leave his mom. And she talks about how it's okay to be scared and it's okay to have that feeling, but what's important is to overcome that fear and find a way to push through that. And I think that's something that's often left out of children's stories. So this is done in such a gentle, sweet manner. The mom raccoon, she kisses his hand, she gives him something to comfort him to overcome his fears, and of course, like all children's stories, he does overcome his fears. So if you have a child who's scared of something, big or small, try to relate it to a story. Try to put it in an outside perspective and try to put it in terms that are funny, that are silly. Role play it, use dolls, have fun with it, because the sillier you make it, the less scared they're going to be. So my recommendations for today: Scaredy Squirrel by Melanie Watt and The Kissing Hand by Audrey Penn. Thank you so much for watching.